Guys, quick question. If you were to name one Ghanaian player who could be in the Ballon d'Or conversation years to come, who would that be? Let me know your answers down below in the comments. I'm going to go first. Definitely, it has to be Mohammed Kudus for me. But then let me know yours down below in the comments. Which Ghanaian player would be in the Ballon d'Or conversation years to come? Let me know yours down below in the comments. In today's video, we are going to talk about updates that has to do with Mohammed Kudus. We are definitely going to talk about the Ballon d'Or. What people do not know is that years ago, some Ghanaian players made their name in this whole Ballon d'Or saga, and I'm going to tell you all about it. We're also going to talk about Bahubali, the boxer. Yeah, he passed away, and I'm going to tell you the reasons why he passed away and many more. So please make sure to like, subscribe, and also turn on notification. My name is Adam. You're watching SportsCornerGH. Quickly, let's jump into it and begin with Mohammed Kudus. How would you rate Mohammed Kudus' performance so far at Tottenham Hotspur? For me, I'm going to give him 8 over 10. So far, he has performed very well. And I'm sure every Tottenham fan is going to agree with me. I even believe Tottenham should go back to West Ham and give them an extra 50 million for just signing Mohammed Kudus. Now, let me tell you the reason why. Out of 5 games in the English Premier League, if you take a look at the most successful take-ons in the EPL, Mohammed Kudus tops. Now, Mohammed Kudus has completed 19 successful take-ons. Next is Ndagi of Everton, 17. Next is Minty of Brighton, 14. And number 4 on that list is Antoine Semenyo, 11 successful take-ons. So just top 4 alone, 2 Ghanaian players in there. Guys, comment Kudus. Kudus is doing an excellent job. And I keep on asking myself, what is Kudus' biggest strength? Is it his physicality or the ability to dribble? I think it is both. But then let me know what you think about that down below in the comments. Now, that is not all. If you compare his most successful take-ons to that of other players in Europe's top 5 league, Mohammed Kudus still tops. Mohammed Kudus is number 1, followed by Kylian Mbappe, who has completed 18 successful take-ons, followed by Yamal, who is number 3 on that list, who has completed 17 successful take-ons. You people are joking with Mohammed Kudus. You people are not appreciating what he brings to the table. At this point, if you still are a Mohammed Kudus hater, you have a lot of work to do because he is still shining. Just join the winning team. Kudus is doing an extremely good job, and his good job is reflecting on how Tottenham Hotspur are performing this season. Now, I want to also add this. This season, if you take a look at the games Mohammed Kudus has played for Tottenham Hotspur, he has featured in almost every single game and has played close to 80 minutes. Now, let me take you from the time they played the Super Cup against PSG. In that game, he played 79 minutes. Their next game in the EPL, he played 85 minutes against Burnley. He played 86 minutes against Man City. Against Tottenham Hotspur, he played 90 minutes. For Ghana, during the international break, against Chad, he played 86 minutes. Against Mali, he played 80 minutes. Then against West Ham, he played 90 minutes. Against Villarreal, he played 90 minutes. And quite recently, against Brighton and Hove Albion, he played 90 minutes. So he has featured in every single game Tottenham has played this season. Their next game is in the EFL Cup, which is the Carabao Cup, against Doncaster. Now, the reason why I have brought you all this is because I don't want to see Mohammed Kudus starting in this game. Look, let me explain. Kudus cannot be playing every single game for Tottenham Hotspur. Kudus is one of the players that have created most chances for Tottenham this season. If you take a look at the goals Tottenham have scored, most assists, Mohammed Kudus 3. Even in the EPL, if you are talking about the top assisters, aside Jack Grealish, Mohammed Kudus is next. Jack Grealish has 4 assists. Kudus has 3. It should have been 4, but the other one was an own goal, so it wasn't credited to him. What I'm trying to say is you don't have to stress your key player. Against Doncaster, you don't need your key player. Let other players play. Rest Mohammed Kudus for your next EPL game, your next major game. Because you don't want a situation where you really need a point. And then your key player is fatigued because he has played too many games in the season. So this is a game that would be okay if Kudus does not start. I'm not saying you shouldn't be part of the squad. He can be part of the squad because against Doncaster, anything can happen, especially if the squad is heavily rotated. Once it's heavily rotated, just know that anything can happen. Let's say Doncaster scores the first goal, and like in the 70th minute, you want to bring in the big boys to get the job done. Then you can bring Mohammed Kudus to play against Doncaster 20 minutes. Then you see his magic. But don't go and start Mohammed Kudus against Doncaster. It's an EFL Cup. Let other players play. He has played every single game this season and has played more than 80 minutes, which is good. But you don't want to stress the player too much. This is my own takes on this. If you agree, let me know. If you don't, let me also know, and also why. So guys, this is the update that has to do with Mohammed Kudus and also Tottenham Hotspur. That game I'm talking about against Doncaster will be played on 24th, which is tomorrow, an EFL Cup. Now let's move away from that and talk about the Ballon d'Or. Dembele, they deserve him, or they deserve him. Let me know that down below in the comments. I think he deserves it. Look at what he won with PSG. He deserves it. He even went to the FIFA Club World Cup final against Chelsea. But unfortunately, that game, they didn't see it off. But, I mean, he deserves it. I don't know what Barca fans are saying and thinking and everything. I feel Lamine Yamal is very young and has more chance of winning the Ballon d'Or again than Dembele. But I think he actually deserves it. But then, let's talk about Ghanaian players who have really showed up when the Ballon d'Or conversation is being talked about. Now let's talk about Asamoah. Asamoah, do you know in 2010, after the World Cup, he was ranked 18th in the Ballon d'Or ranking? Do you know? Asamoah, the baby jet. Asamoah, Ghana here, most of you do not respect. He was ranked 18th after the 2010 World Cup. So you have to put some respect on the name of Asamoah. Yes, in the history of Ghana, no Ghanaian player has been ranked highest than Asamoah. Number 2, Michael Essien. He has been shortlisted 3 times for the Ballon d'Or between 2005 to 2007. And the highest ranking he has ever gotten was the 22nd place. Michael Essien too, much respect to him. If you're talking about Ballon d'Or, even though Ghanaians cannot say, our player has gone this far, what I want to tell you is that Asamoah went as far as 18th when he was in his prime. As I asked, which Ghanaian player do you think in the future or in the years to come would be in the Ballon d'Or conversation? It is Kudus. Like, I don't know which other player will come to mind as at this point. But then let me hear from you down below in the comments. It is Kudus. For me, it is Kudus, yes. So, guys, that is it with the Ballon d'Or conversation. Now, let's move away from the Ballon d'Or conversation and talk about another update that I'm not really happy about. This has to do with Tariq Lamptey. We all know when Tariq Lamptey signed from Brighton and over Beyond to Fiorentina, we were excited. New challenge, new league. This is a fresh start for Tariq Lamptey. He should go there and make himself proud. The first game, he came on as a substitute. I was like, okay, I like what I saw. The camera was beautiful. Just last weekend, he had his first start for Fiorentina. First start. That was against Como. They lost that game by 2-1. Guess what? Exactly in the 22nd minute, he got injured. And when you get injured, sometimes you don't want to believe it. So for Tariq Lamptey, after that moment, he really did not feel like, oh, okay, I have to go out. I can still play. So he continued playing and found out that no, he has to be substituted out of that game. Otherwise, it could be something serious. But this brings me to my point. Tariq Lamptey's injury history is a bad one. He needs to work on that. I'm not saying injuries are not part of football. They are part of football. But then Tariq Lamptey's history, when it comes to injuries, it's not good at all. We saw it at Brighton and Hove Albion. It has already started at Fiorentina. I just believe that the player needs some special needs so that he can stay fit and play. Because if you go to a new team or a new club and you don't have the opportunity to show what you can do, definitely, trust me, they are going to move forward without you. So Tariq Lamptey, this is the situation. He got injured. Definitely medical assessments will be done to see the extent of the injury and also his return. So guys, this is the update that has to do with Tariq Lamptey. Now, let's move away from Tariq Lamptey and talk about Kwasi Sibo. Kwasi Sibo, a.k.a. Sibo. I mean, we all saw him play with the Black Stars. His debut, he was fantastic, played so well in the middle, and his partnership with Thomas Partey was an excellent one. Now, upon returning to his club side, Real Ovodio, their immediate game he did not play. Their next game he played, but they lost to Elchin by 1-0. But then after the game, he spoke, and he spoke to Graphic Sport. And I want to tell you exactly what he said. Now, this is what he said. He says that it is tough to play in the La Liga, but I like it here because they treat me like a king. We are working hard to stay up. But one of my biggest ambitions is to play in the UEFA Champions League. Everything happens for a reason. I believe I have the power to change situations. This is coming from Kwasi Sibo. He already manifested some weeks and months ago he will play in the Black Stars. And he did. He's manifesting again. He wants to play in the UCL. It is all about performing very well. Maybe Real Ovodio is not performing well as a team, but if his individual performance are up there, trust me, a good team could sign him and definitely he could realize his dream. But then, guys, this is the update that has to do with Kwasi Sibo. Now, let's move away from Kwasi Sibo and talk about some boxing. Yeah. Now, let's talk about boxing and let me talk about the good news first when it comes to boxing. Anthony Joshua. We all saw Anthony Joshua some months ago when Legacy Entertainment organized one of the biggest boxing events here in Ghana. Yes, the son of the president, that is, Mohammed's son. He organized one of the biggest boxing events here, and Anthony Joshua was in the country. Now, this is coming from a British promoter called Eddie Hearn, and he says that Anthony Joshua is thinking of coming to Ghana to organize one of the biggest boxing bouts in Africa. This is what he said, and I read. He says that, I think he, referring to Anthony Joshua, is going to have one fight in January or February, and we are looking to do that in Ghana. It would be unbelievable for him to fight in Africa. We want Tyson Fury. That would be big. Having Anthony Joshua fight Tyson Fury in Ghana here, that would be the biggest boxing bout in Africa. I'm not going to lie to you. But then, guys, that is the good news that has to do with boxing. But then, let's talk about the bad one. Let's talk about Ghanaian boxer Ernest Akushi, a.k.a. Bahubali. The sad news is that he passed away. Yeah, he passed away today. And this comes days after he lost his bout to Jacob Dixon. And according to medical reports and what we are hearing, it is due to internal bleeding. I mean, this is really sad. I just want to show you some highlights of Bahubali. Let's check this out. So guys, for those who don't know who Bahubali is or Jacob Akushi, now you know. He passed away. It is very sad. He's one of those upcoming boxers that Ghana will be looking up to take the nation's flag to the higher stage. But rather, unfortunately, he has passed away. That is why I have this here. You guys know I have a boxing gloves. Yeah, and I mean, it's very sad to see a boxer leave the scene like this. Boxing is a very difficult sport, and I mean, it's short-lived too. But may his soul rest in perfect peace. I don't want to talk too much about this. May his soul rest in perfect. Let me just put this aside. Now, let's move away from that and talk about our last update. That has to do with Frida AEC. Let's talk about the ladies a bit. I want to begin with a Black Queens player, Frida AEC, who plays for Watford Women. She scored 3 goals over the weekend. She scored a hat-trick for her club called Watford Women. They won that game by 5-0, and she's on the road. She's performing extremely well. I'm very happy for her. After the game, this is what she said. Let's check it out.
How happy are you with the hat-trick today?
Yeah, I feel good. Happy to get a hat-trick. We got the 3 points. Yeah, it's been a good day.
Yeah. Second goal was quite a spectacular hit. What are your thoughts on that one?
Listen, you don't seen the content. I have to treat it like the content sometimes. I banged it top bins.
So guys, you have heard from Frida. Let me know what you think about it down below in the comments. She's good. I've already said that she's the she's the female version of Ronaldinho. Like, she does some crazy football styles you can never imagine, and I'm happy for her. Last one, let's talk about Chantal Boy Hockler. Now, she scored her debut goal for Nottingham Forest ladies, and I'm happy for her. I'm happy that our ladies are also performing very well. And it's good to share a spotlight on them too, because most people do not talk about them, especially when they are performing very well for their club side. We only talk about them when they come to the national team, which is not good. So these 2 ladies are doing an extremely good job with their club side. I'm talking about Chantal Hockler Boy and also Frida AEC. These 2 ladies are doing so well. So guys, this is where I'm going to end it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and also turn on notification. My name is Adam. I'll make sure to see you in the next one. Tariq, you go vibe.